kitchens. That's the future of the kitchens, the Jetsons kind of thing. You guys remember the Jetsons? I did a home show the other day, and they're like, who? But, right, we're getting into this very futuristic kitchen. Last year, they displayed this new home chef, and it's these two huge arms that are connected to your backsplash, $75,000, and they make all your meals for you. Okay, you got to buy the ingredients, put them all in the spot that they need, and then they make your food for you. Okay, everything in the kitchen's hidden. You don't even know there's a fridge in there. It looks like another living space. Hiding everything with panels or the cooktop in the island. Everything. Islands that actually retract and then come back and close up so they look like a piece of furniture. So things are getting a little crazy out there. But it's good to know, and if it's not your style, I don't blame you. And if I had $75,000, I would buy those arms. For sure. But so keep that in mind when you're looking at countertops, okay? Very expensive stuff, but think about the maintenance if you do go with a granite. You might go one step up, do the manufactured stone that looks like granite, and you never have to worry about it again, okay? Okay, I want to go into, oh gosh, that's not what I want to go to. All right, let's go into this. Positive, kind of vibes in the house, right? Who believes in feng shui? Anybody know it? Read about it? Feng shui is all about kind of space planning and bringing in the green and energy and light and all that. And I studied it in college, and then right out of college, I got a job with a home builder, and it was in Vegas, and it was in the middle of summer, and one of our clients was building a house, and they had a compass, and they wanted to figure out where to put the front door. So we stood out there in the middle of July in Vegas, in the desert. It was 120 degrees. It took them 2 hours to figure out where the front door was going to go. And that was the day that I hated feng shui. So that was over for me, but what isn't over, and what the most important thing to think about when it comes to kitchen design is space planning. Number one, who knows what the perfect triangle is? Refrigerator, stove, and the sink. Fridge, stove, sink. Triangle. If you don't have that triangle, you're probably pretty miserable in your space. All right, space planning is key. It's all about function. Form and function, but function when it comes to space planning. All right, the second most important thing, first in my opinion, when it comes to all design, is lighting. Lighting is a huge part of our lives. Lighting is controllable, which is why I love it, because I'm a control freak. And I want to control everything. And how can I control lighting? The dimmer, yeah. And every one of us can put a dimmer on every single fixture in our house. You don't have to be a licensed electrician. It's pretty simple to do. You don't have to worry about hiring anybody out. But now you can control your space. So if you're in the kitchen and you're putting groceries away or you're prepping for dinner, all the lights are up, right? Company comes in, you're entertaining, maybe it's dinner time, you dim it down. And then there's so many different types of lighting in the kitchen. Recess cans, pendants, under cabinet lighting, over cabinet lighting, toe kick lighting. And all of these things can be accent lighting or ambient lighting or task lighting. So how many of you have under cabinet lighting? Anybody? Used to? You just got rid of everything, huh? The rooster, the under cabinet lighting. Oh, nice. So under cabinet lighting is very important for a couple different reasons. Number one, it can double up as task lighting. So if you're prepping, you've got extra lighting underneath those cabinets. Number two, it's the art light to your backsplash. Your backsplash is the artwork in the kitchen. It's where you need to bring in color and texture and kind of liven things up a little bit. And so if you're going to do that, then you're going to want to highlight it. And you're going to highlight that with under cabinet lighting. So under cabinet lighting, you do not have to hardwire. Okay, hardwiring would require a licensed electrician. So you don't need that either for under cabinet lighting. What you do, the first thing you need to do if you're planning or thinking about installing it, you may not have, but now maybe you will, is you're going to go home and you're going to look at your upper cabinets and you're going to look for like a little light rail. It's a little piece of trim that sits at the base of the top cabinets. Does everyone know what I'm talking about? It's just a little piece of trim. And what that allows you to do is put under cabinet lighting under there. So it houses the light and it really illuminates underneath. If you don't have that piece and you put strip lighting or puck lights up, it's going to look like a spaceship. All right, your eye is going to go right to it, so you don't want to do that. you want to make sure that you've got your trim piece. Another thing to have the cabinet company look at when they're out there. All right, you may want to install it yourselves. You may want somebody professional to do it, especially if you have stain grade cabinets. But make sure you've got the light rail. And then the second thing you can do is you can just buy under cabinet lighting strip lights. And I bought mine on Amazon. It's from 3M. They make it looks like a roll of tape. And it just unsticks, and then you can just stick it underneath the cabinet. Do it a little closer to the light rail, because then it hits back and illuminates. But these things are battery powered, so you don't have to hardwire. You can hardwire them if you want, but you don't have to. And they just run under the cabinet, and then all I did was drill a little hole in the side cabinet, and I went up with the tiny battery pack, and I just Velcro it to the side. So now it's operated by batteries, on-off switch, dimmable, color changing, which I don't recommend. Let's keep it white. Purple kind of looks tacky. Pink, not into it. But every one of us can do it, okay? Super easy to do, and again, lighting is key in the kitchen. Okay, let's talk about color. This is my favorite thing to talk about just because I feel like that's why I knew I wanted to be a designer. I was really good at it, whether it was putting my outfits together or painting my best friend's room, whatever it was, I knew that I loved color. And so a lot of you don't know how to use it, which is okay. That's why I have a job, thank you. But I see it all the time. I walk into spaces and I'm like, oh my God. One house I went to recently looked like a box of crayons. It's just every room was a different color. How many of you guys have accent walls? Anybody have one wall, one color? I know I'm going to pick on you just for a minute. One wall, one color. All right. Accent walls to me are they seem non-committal. Right? It's like, oh, I love red. I'm going to put it on one wall. Well, how come you don't do every wall, right? Why is it just one wall? And the answer probably is because you're terrified of it, or that you think maybe it's going to make the room seem small. Right? Maybe we love navy blue, but we just want one wall. Well, I'm going to show you the right way to bring in color so you don't have those accent walls. So every wall could be the same color, and then you bring the color in the right way. Okay, let's look at this. I want you guys to tell me, how many of you guys like this kitchen? Anybody? What colors do you see? Yellow and red, right? And how many of you know why McDonald's and Burger King use yellow and red in their marketing efforts? Makes you hungry. Yes, it does. They do that on purpose. They get you every time. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be hungry every time I go in my kitchen. Okay, that's not something I want. But these people said, you know what, we don't care. We love red, we love yellow. We're going to throw it on the walls and get some accessories and some, awful artwork and just make this place look great, right? Red and yellow. Now, how many of you guys like this kitchen? Bright, high gloss red cabinets. Okay, so if this was an open house and I was in the market and I loved everything about this house and I made it to the kitchen, I would run. I would run for so many reasons. Number one, I hate red. No offense, sir. I don't mind your shirt. Red to me, and every one of us has a color that just, I don't know, doesn't make us feel good. Or we have colors that we love and that make us feel right at home. But for me, red, I don't know what it is. It just kind of makes me angry. I feel like a bull. And not that I'm going to charge you or anything, but it's just one of those colors that just doesn't sit with me. So if I walked in here, I would immediately start thinking of money. Oh my gosh, how much is this going to cost if I have to change it? How much do you guys think this would cost if I had to change it? Because remember, it's a domino effect. I could take the cabinets out. All of a sudden, the countertops don't work. All of a sudden, the backsplash doesn't work. So I'm replacing everything. 100,000. Oh gosh, yikes. No. Probably around 30,000 minimum. So I would run. I wouldn't even think about this kitchen. Now, what if the person that lives here 10 years from now says, I hate red? It's going to cost them $30,000 to change it. Now, what about this person? If they said, you know what, we just don't like yellow and red. Is that going to cost a lot of money? No. They're going to put their new favorite colors, purple and green, in. And that's going to work, right? And it's going to work because this kitchen is layerable. And by that, I mean the flooring, the cabinets, the countertops, super neutral without being boring, but still something that I can continue to change and it will evolve over time. So layerable kitchens, bringing color in the right way, super important because you're looking at, changing out artwork and paint and some furniture versus the hardscape stuff that I told you about. So I want to give you a little secret with the show. So on the last day of the show, every single episode, I get about $400, and I go shopping. And I go to Home Goods and Target, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and I buy all those accessories that you see me placing at the end. And in the morning of the last day, we kick the couple out, and we tell them, we do a little project with them, and then we get them out, because I want them to see what this, I want them to be surprised, right? They're with me the whole time, 4 days, and they think they know what it's going to look like, so we kick them out early. I go shopping, I get off, get away from set, and I come back and I place all those accessories. And they are waiting usually in the room to the side. And every single time, you guys don't get to see this because we cut, but every single time I place the last accessory and I say, John, Mary, come into your new kitchen. And they walk in, and every time, no fail, usually it's the woman crying, but sometimes the man if we let you go too long and you drink too many beers. But you come in and it's like, oh my God, look at the flowers. And we're like, okay, cut, keep crying. We just gave you a $100,000 kitchen and you're looking at the $20 fake flowers from Target. So they walk out, they come back in, we do it all over again. But the best part about that is that those little things make a huge difference, right? So if $400 or $500 gets spent on accessories, and you could do that every, you guys all watch HGTV all the time, so you're obsessed with changing your space every day, right? Chip and Joanna are doing it, the Property Brothers are doing it, I'm doing it, so you want to do it. It's going to kill you over time with the money spent. So if you could do it with area rugs, lighting, accessories, window treatments, whatever it is, bring color in that way and bring in a little bit, you could change the whole look of a space with this stuff. Even your backsplash, that's not going to break the bank. You could change that out every 5 years and never, clean out your bank account with that one, right? So think about those things. How many of you guys have one of those KitchenAid mixers, the one that weighs like 5,000 pounds? You got one? Anybody else? No? Anyone do you have a fun color? Red. I said fun. I'm kidding. It's your favorite. Yeah. It's red. Why do you think they make those in 50 different colors? Because they weigh 5,000 pounds. It's not like we're moving them off the countertop every single time we use it. So the company knows that this is form and function. That it's sitting on that counter, it's not going anywhere. Whether you use it once a week or once a year, it's always there and you're always staring at it. So whether it's red or teal or rose gold or blue or pink, whatever it is, you have your option because they know that it's becoming an accessory in your kitchen. Another thing to think about. So I live in Chicago, which is super gray and gloomy most of the year. And we'll get in. I'll talk about that in a sec. How many of you guys have painted your cabinets? Yeah? How'd it go? It's okay. Did you do it yourself? You did. Did you use a roller and a brush? Both? And did you take them off? All the cabinet doors? Okay, cool. It's not a day project. It's probably a weekend or a week project. But you have to be totally committed to it. And I think it's something that every one of us should try if you want. So if you've got cabinets that can be stained, here's an example. I asked this question at a home show, I don't know, a year ago. Anyone paint their cabinets? And this woman was kind of like, yeah, it didn't go so well. I painted them, and then I put them back up, and all the paint dripped off. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I said, did you sand them down? She goes, oh, no. Forgot to sand them down. They were stain grade, years of dirt and grime and, top coats and you name it. She just painted over it, and it just fell right off. You got to sand them down. Sanding is meticulous. It could take a long time. You have to take off all those drawer fronts and door fronts. You got to, this is my recommendation, if you ever do it again, rent a sprayer, buy a sprayer, get the hang of it, practice on a piece of cardboard first, and get that really beautiful custom finish look. No brush strokes, no roller marks, super clean and super, kind of just professional looking. But it's time consuming. You got to take everything off. You got to tape everything off. You got to spray it all out. But for instance, and I use this as an example, not that I like it, but let's say you love powder